Thank you for watching Highway 34 Connection. Today's podcast will begin shortly.
Your co-hosts are Chief streaming from Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, along with Insidious streaming on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, and the Ghost from Ghost MAF streaming on Twitch. Welcome to Highway 34 Connection, the pod. The following podcasts are for mature audiences only, unscripted, unfiltered, and unedited as always. Pro Wrestling Talk, where we will sit down and we will discuss the world of professional wrestling. Conspiracy theories. Have a conspiracy you want us to talk about? Email us at highway34@gmail.com. Highway 34's History Lesson of the Week for World History. Talking Football, where we'll discuss the National Football League, the XFL, and the USFL. And the Honest 50, where the Chief will sit down with a guest and ask 50 questions, 25 from the Chief, 25 from their community. The Battle of Highway 34, the Trivia Show. Watch and listen as Ghost battles Insidious, or they battle the Chief. It is now time for your main event. Let's freaking go. Hey everybody, it is the Chief. Insidious is at a birthday party, and then he has some remodeling in his house to do. And I don't know if a Ghost is joining me today or not. If he chimes in, he chimes in. But first, there are two major stories I want to discuss within the pro wrestling community. And this first one, as you're staring at some trees on your screen, we're going to get right back into things. Last night, Impact Wrestling had Bound from Glory. After the main event, Alex Shelley retaining the the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship against Josh Alexander. This video took place.
Yes, sisters sold up the river. Sleepy
Alright, this seems to be causing an issue, so we're gonna... see if I can turn my camera around here and let you all see what I'm watching straight from my computer, since this seems to be... maybe. Okay.
Download it for free at Grammarly.com.
Okay, what's going on?
Yes, sisters sold up the river.
Right? This computer doesn't have a strong enough to play it for you.
Days with the sun. Yes, sisters sold up the river. Leaving her days with the sun. Sleepy village home. Dreams of city life. And still there's nobody home. Ain't no frame to the picture. Ain't no proper phone. Lost in sister brother. This lonely strangers familiar meets my thoughts with a sigh. Pacing always forever. Better rest a while. Lost in sister brother.
I think we all know why we're here. I can still hear it. People want to pretend that it went away, but we're reminded of it every day. All of you, you're my brothers and my sisters, and I feel it in my core. Professional wrestling is bleeding. There needs to be a change. This is that change.
And to get there, we have to go back to where it all started.
I look around and I know that if we had everything that we wanted, then that means we didn't want or dream big enough.
They thought it had been written. They thought that the book was closed. Let's rewrite those pages. Replace them with our own words, with our own story. Sleep is the cousin of death, and we've been slept on for the last time. We are the kings and queens of our own stories. In this story, it's time for the next chapter. All I've ever wanted was to be here, a part of this, a part of something bigger than any one person. Now, I can. I guess there's only one thing left to do.
TNA Wrestling.
It's all about total non-stop action. These fights will inspire you. It's an evening that revolves around history.
This is TNA Wrestling.
So, as you just saw or listened, Impact Wrestling announced last night at the end of the wrestling pay-per-view that they are changing the name. It'll no longer be Impact Wrestling after January 1st. They are going back to the old school name of TNA Wrestling, Total Nonstop Action. I was going to try to get Ghost and Insidious's thoughts. We can get them, I guess, at a later date. The other massive announcement came from All Elite Wrestling. Let's take a listen.
Fans, back in 1987, I first introduced this man right here on this very same television station, TBS. And it thrills me every time to say his name. Stand up wherever you are. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Sting!
It's always such an amazing moment when the icon, Sting, makes his walk to the ring. He's asked for time to address the fans all around the world. And a lot of questions, a lot of speculation. What's on the Stinger's mind, Taz? You got an insight. You've known him for a long time.
I have known him for a long time, and he is a legend through and through. There's no doubt, a living legend. And if he needs time, he can come out and talk. I'm sure as long as he wants, he'll do whatever he wants. I'm not quite sure what the future means for the great Stinger. Maybe we'll find out right now. You know, I can remember about 30 some years ago, the first time I ever did that to the crowd and they wooed back. I couldn't believe it. All these years later, here I am. Well, shall I say the word? All right, before I say the word, I want to reflect a little bit with all of you. Is that okay? We just reflect? Because that word makes me want to reflect a little bit. It makes me think about all the years traveling up and down the road with guys like the Total Package, Lex Luger, Rick and Scotty Steiner, Buff Bagwell. There's some names from the past. Yeah, but I travel up and down with these guys all the time, and you know, we look at the generation ahead of us, the guys that shaped my career, guys like Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes being the most charismatic human being I've ever seen in my whole life. Unreal, Dusty. Love you. Hulk Hogan. Okay, I hear you. But Hulk Hogan transcended wrestling, and I did learn something from the guy. So I got to give something to him on that. But one of the guys I really want to give a lot to is the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for all the moments. I remember the Clash of Champions 1988, the very first world title match that I had with you, and you put me on the map. What a moment that was. And then in 1990, the Great American Bash, Baltimore, Maryland, world title match. This time, I come out the victor, Rick. Thank you once again, Nature Boy. No, thank you. Thank you. We used to wonder, though, what makes these guys want to come back year after year, decade after decade? What more do they have to prove? And I got to tell you, here I am all these years later. And I understand why they hung on. It's the smell of the arenas. It's the camaraderie on the road with the guys traveling all over the globe. It is the roar of you, the fans. Woo! That's what makes us keep coming back for more. Does my body do the same thing it did 20 years ago? No. Should I be jumping off of balconies? Okay, well, we'll talk about that. We'll get there. We'll get there. So, getting back to that word, it makes me, before I quite get there, Thank you. And I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, he retired once already. Yeah, I said the word retire. But I gotta tell you, that retirement in 2015 just didn't sit right with me. And besides that, there was one very key moment in my retirement speech that I made. The only thing for sure about Sting is nothing's for sure. Which brings me now to the word retirement again. No, I want to address it right here, live and in color, on Dynamite in the great state of Texas. Okay, yeah, right here in Rosenberg, Texas. Wow, what a mixed crowd tonight. I don't care though, this is my moment. This is your moment. I want to share it with you. So here goes. I started my very first match with AEW was Revolution 2021. And my very last match will be Revolution 2024. One more key thing that you guys all need to know. The only thing for sure about Sting is my retirement, Revolution 2024, is for sure.
Wow. Massive announcement by the...
So WWE Hall of Famer Steve Borden, a.k.a. Sting, announced this past Wednesday that at Revolution 2024 he would retire. So, with that in mind, who do you think he should face? I have told multiple people who I believe Sting should face, and I've kept getting looks of no, no, no. It makes sense, but no. since Sting's AEW debut, he has managed and mentored Darby Allin. I believe that the Stinger should face Darby Allin, and if he does plan retiring for good, pass the torch to Darby Allin. Well, many people I have heard is that Tony Khan needs to have a conversation with Vince McMahon and Mr. Emmanuel from TKO, aka WWE and UFC, to see if they could do Sting versus The Undertaker, a match that we've never ever seen. Do I see that happening? No. It'll probably be against Darby. Do I want it to be against Darby? No, but that's who I think they're going to have him face. Other news that's happened this week, other than Sting's retirement speech, Impact Wrestling going back to TNA, which, as you can tell, the name above, AEW, WWE, AEW, ROH, Impact, New Japan, Pro Wrestling Revolver. I'm going to have to change that, take off Impact, and put TNA by the year's end. But now the question that remains, what all are they bringing when TNA comes back? Are they going to bring back the six-sided rings? From what I've been telling or reading, the six-sided ring is done and ain't coming back. Do fans want to see it back? Yes. Am I one of the ones that wants to see it back? Yes. Impact Wrestling, there has been someone there off and on since the beginning. Sami Callihan, he's one of the head honchos from PWR, Pro Wrestling Revolver. He's no longer under contract with Impact, TNA, whatever you want to call it. He was at AEW Collision last night. He's been spotted at the Performance Center from what I've read for the WWE. It's not sure where he'll end up. So that's going to be exciting for me to see where Sami ends up. Now, normally these podcasts take about an hour. With it just being me, it ain't going to be no hour because I don't want to just sit here and talk and give my thoughts. I was hoping Ghost would pop in. I told him I was live. Nothing. So there's that. If Insidious and him get time later this evening, we'll discuss the other topics we were going to discuss. As Cody Rhodes announced the return of a men's breakout tournament. There's 8 names of people that they haven't announced who are going to be a part of that tournament. I'm assuming Lexis King will be a part of that, as he is actually flying Brian Pillman Jr. He's set to make his debut probably here soon within WWE. Do I think Logan Paul needs to face Rey Mysterio and win the U.S. title? No. I haven't been a fan of Logan Paul since he was on YouTube. My thoughts on CM Punk going to WWE or ROH, New Japan, Ring of Honor, I don't see him retiring. I don't see anybody rehiring him, but I can't guarantee anything. There's not much to talk about. Those are the main two that I wanted to talk about, was Impact going back to TNA, along with a few other things, but unfortunately, I'm not just going to sit here and chit-chat to myself. So, with that, if you are watching on Highway 34 Connection, don't go anywhere. Jack, I'm actually getting ready to do some zombie rotation Royale trios if you want to join me. So maybe we'll get Ghost in and see his thoughts on the TNA name change, Steve Borden Sting's last match. But until then, if you are watching on Insidious Streaming, we are actually going to raid off to Highway 34 Connection on Twitch. The Twitch channel is actually mine. However, Insidious and Ghost have access to it as well. Or they should. I've given it to them multiple times. If you're watching on Ghost Streaming, obviously, like I just said, we're going to raid over to Highway 34 Connection. We're trying to get the Twitch on Highway 34 Connection affiliate by year's end. I can't guarantee nothing. Scroll down here. I'm just doing some typing real quick, and that's not right. All right, so I'm going to hit this end video, and then in about 30 seconds, I'll see you on Highway 34 Connection with Call of Duty.
Hi, I'm Insidious. Thanks for watching this podcast.
This is The Ghost, and thank you for watching our podcast.
And I am the Chief. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.